three-time Pro Bowler and the owner of Lights Out Extreme Fighting. And he's partnered with Fubu Sports Network for the upcoming event Saturday, October 30th. Lights Out Extreme Fighting. He's partnered with the Fubu Sports Network. Lights Out himself, our buddy Shawne Merriman, back on the show. How are you, Shawne?
Rich, what's up, my man? How you doing?
What's going on? Are you
not much. Living a dream.
You are living. You're owning this thing now, huh? You're owning your business. You're running a business.
I am. We've been up and running for 2 years, and we just actually announced that partnership on Fubo Sports a few months back. So we just had we had our first fight live.
Yes.
And doing it live, man, it's a whole different ball game, right? Like you can tape and have it out there, but doing it live, you're walking around with your clamped and
oh yeah,
worried about something going wrong, some satellite. So it's a whole different ball game, man. But yeah, we're live now in football sports.
Okay, and now and you need people that multitask on your team. Like that's what I'm doing today. Like my guy Brockman is call screening and posting videos, and he's over there, right, Chris? You're doing all right over there?
Yeah, I'm surviving.
He's the one who checked you in twice, yeah. And then TJ, my social media guy, he's sitting there, he's posting. He's also taking slings and arrows from people calling in saying that his work is substandard and he doesn't like it.
Well, they know.
And I'm trying to host a show, but I also own this thing here, so my head's about to explode. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but Rich, Chris gave me a countdown. I thought I was taking off in a rocket ship. Like, okay, call back in 19 seconds. And I'm like, all right.
Shawne, I didn't want you to wait. I didn't want you to wait longer than you had to.
Show.
That's
we're
right.
doing the show, not SpaceX.
That's right.
So
I was about to say this is the SpaceX version of a radio television simulcast.
That's a good note.
Hey, Shawne, remember that time I punked you on April Fool's on Game Day morning on Total Access? Do you remember that one? Remember that one?
I try not to, but yeah.
Come on now.
I try not to.
We go way back, Shawne. We go way back. You go even further back with my wife. She covered you at Maryland. My wife Susie covered you at Maryland. I remember all of that stuff, man. So I've been knowing you for a very, very long time. So let's talk some football. Let's talk some ball right here. What do you think of the Chargers? The current version of the Chargers and the head coach. What are you hearing about the head coach and the current version of the Chargers, Shawne?
So when Coach Brandon Staley, when he came in, when they first brought him in, he called me that night that they announced he was coming in, and we spoke on the phone for about 20 or 25 minutes. And, yeah, I knew about him because of Sean McVay and just their, teams that they had up there and whatnot, but I didn't know much about him. But when he called me, he was like over-the-top excited, man. You heard it in his voice. But I also, at the time, I didn't know how young he was. I had no idea he was like that young, so I'm talking to him on the phone. I said, this dude sounds young as hell. That was the first thing that came through my mind. Like, this guy sounds young. And he is, right? So you heard, like, the enthusiasm. And then, two, I was excited because they brought in a defensive-minded guy, right? Because I always think that, defensive coaches, they approach things a little bit different, practice are a little bit more aggressive. Like, the mentality of the team, in my opinion, and that's going from Marty Schottenheimer to Norv Turner. No shot at Norv, but just, it was a different mentality that was established. I feel like that mentality is coming back with Brandon Staley. So I wasn't shocked at, them beating Washington football team. They have a really good team. I was, they probably should have beat the Dallas Cowboys. I don't want to blame it on the refs because as a former player, you're always told, like, let's take it out of the refs' hands. But it was some calls made in that game, Rich, and you got to sit back and say, like, and I was at the game. I said, damn, this is a bad way to lose. You can't lose the game like this.
What did you think of the crowd? What was the crowd like there? Because the conversation, for the Rams and the home field advantage that I saw against the Bears, there were some Bears fans there, but it was mostly Rams fans. And the conversation after the last couple of years of the Charger playing in the home of the LA Galaxy, it was kind of a road game for them. What was it like in that building? And SoFi, were there was it 50-50? Because it's a ton of Cowboys fans travel. What was that home field advantage like for the Chargers?
If it wasn't 50-50, it was 60-40 Chargers fans. I mean, regardless of what people say. But you got to understand this, too, and people don't talk about this enough. California is just a destination where people go, from Dallas and anywhere else. I mean, Kansas City fans and Denver, you're going to have fans there, right? Because people migrate. Nobody leaves California and move to Kansas City. I mean, it just – unless there's a big job opportunity or something that's going to change your life or have an upgrade, very few people leaving California or, those states and going to the Midwest. It doesn't happen as much. So you're going to get the reverse of that. So you're going to have a lot of Dallas Cowboys fans. You're going to have Denver Broncos fans. You're going to have Raiders fans, obviously, because that's, kind of just their thing. So you're going to have other people's fans there in the stadium. But what's going to change over time, and I'm already seeing it happening, and this started, Rich, right before they left the last stadium when they played the Ravens. I was at that game, that playoff game, and that stadium was rocking with Chargers fans. What needs to happen with them, they need to win, right? They need to win, start establishing new fans. People will slowly take off those, whatever team color your jersey is, and they'll start converting to being Charger fans.
Shawne Merriman here on the Rich Eisen Show. Who do you have winning the Super Bowl this year? Who's your prediction coming into the year, Shawne?
Well, I don't know about winning, but I still do think that Tampa's probably going to go back. I just think that because the team that they brought back automatically, that they're going to have another shot. Anytime you have that same core group of guys going back, they're going to have a shot. Plus, too, they had an off season together this time for the first time, so you think they're going to have a shot back. When you're talking about on the AFC side, to me, I think the AFC side is probably more wide open. You got, obviously Kansas City, they got there. But, I said Kansas City before the season, but watching them play the Baltimore Ravens, I'm feeling, a little bit less hopeful that they're going to have an opportunity to go back. The AFC, to me, in my opinion, is wide open with, 3 or 4 different teams.
Isn't it amazing when you were drafted in 2005, Shawne Merriman, 12th overall, and you and Phillip and LT and the rest of the crew, that was put together, was essentially put together in mind to just knock out Tom Brady and the Patriots. And now here we are in 2021, and Brady's going for his 8th. It's insane. It's kind of crazy, Shawne. Guy's 44, going for his 8th, playing at 44, maybe better than he was at 24. It doesn't compute at all, Shawne. Right?
It doesn't. You know what? Honestly, it doesn't make sense, right? You're trying to put it together. I know he got the TB12, the diet, and he takes really good care of his body and stuff like that. But if you look at, kind of his body of work and even some of the years that they had a down year, he was getting hit. I remember when we tore our knees up the same year. I think it was in 2008. We both had the surgeries, right? He went down to ACL. I tore my knee up as well. And I remember coming back to my knee and how hard that was. And just the process of it. And, you're never the same when you go under the knife. So if you have a big knee, I had the Achilles, so you're never the same once you get surgery. To see him come back and still playing at this level, breaking records, when he said that he can play that he's almost 50 years old, and he said this, 3-4 years ago, I kind of like, yeah, right. He's bumped this, he's drinking that Patriots juice out there, right? Like there's no way. But to see him really doing it, he might actually be able to play for another 3 or 4 years, which is insane.
It is insane, and plus he had a procedure this past year. He said, minor surgery is somebody's, is minor when it's somebody else's. You know what I mean? Like it truly is incredible. I don't know if you saw. Did you see Peyton Manning said on his Manning cast that anytime he went into Gillette that he would not have a conversation in front of his locker because he was afraid that there was a live microphone in front of it? You're laughing. Were you and the rest of the Chargers the same way whenever you went into Gillette back in the day?
It's funny because Peyton, there's some seriousness behind every joke, right? I mean, we're joking about it, but absolutely, we all did. I mean, I think that most teams that played there, I remember how the assistant coaches would make us any kind of game information, any adjustment audibles, any pregame stuff. We would have somebody dedicated to go to the hotel rooms to clean up any kind of paperwork that was left there. You got fined if you didn't turn in your paperwork, because what we heard, and I don't know if this is true or not, but we heard it by multiple people that they had housekeepers gathering information left by and giving it to the Patriots in the hotels.
So you're saying the Chargers organization, coaches or whatever, thought that New England had a connection with the housekeeping staff in the hotel on the road, and I don't know if they still had it at the same spot. It's Providence, Rhode Island, right? Is that where you guys stayed, in Providence back in the day?
Yep.
Right. Okay. That this hotel would have a housekeeping staff instructed to look for any leftover pieces of paper that looked like something football-wise, and then collect it hand it over to somebody who would then hand it into the Patriots. That literally was a thought process of somebody in the Chargers organization. Is what you're saying.
100%. 100%. And they started issuing out fines for not turning in your papers or information.
Was that anywhere on the road or just New England?
It was just New England.
Oh my gosh. What do you think? Do you really think that was happening for real?
Look, I don't know who they, if they had a connection at the hotel or whatever. I always believe when there's smoke, there's fire. And I'm not saying that maybe it wasn't the top or execs or anybody in the organization. Maybe it was somebody that was, maybe a lower level or, the ball boy. I have no idea, but
right.
It definitely was a serious conversation, and it was a serious issue that we had someone collecting every piece of game information, and if you left it in the hotel room, you was fined.
And when you say where there's smoke, there's fire, you're not talking about the other rumor that the Patriots would have somebody on this hotel staff pull the fire alarm at 2 a.m. when there wasn't anything, just to wake you guys up in the middle of the night before game day, right? There was that one too.
That was real smoke. That wasn't. That was real smoke with that one. That was true.
That one. You think they did that? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, 100%.
Oh my gosh, it's crazy. Football's nuts, man. This is just crazy. The paranoia that goes on, and that's good enough. I mean, I bet you the Patriots love hearing this. I bet you they love hearing it because if it's in the mind's eye of anybody that comes in, I'm sure Sean Payton's talking about it this week to the Saints right now. I'm sure that sort of stuff.
Well, he has to. I mean, you think about it. And look, it's just way too many things. And I don't know if any of this stuff true. No one's like said, "Hey, this happened," or they told me that we collected this information, and don't talk in the showers, maybe the locker rooms. I don't know, but it's been conversations throughout many organizations. Even when we're playing other teams, or you see guys in the off season, and you're kind of just chilling, having a drink or hanging out. It's talked about everywhere. It's just not like some secret news.
Last one for you on the football front, and then we'll talk a little bit about your fighting, and then we'll let you go on your Friday. I think I remember this story, because when I used to go to Pro Bowls, I was warned to never give out your room number because if you do that, then the rest of the people at the Pro Bowl will put their orders on your room, and then you check out, and your bill is insane. Is it true your bill was insane after your first Pro Bowl because your room number got around and the rest of the AFC team put it all on you, the rookie? Did that happen, Shawne Merriman?
Oh yeah.
How much was it? What was your tab?
I think I had over $3,000 in drinks alone, and like Mai Tais and food and stuff like that. And what happened? Look, Rich, we were sitting by the pool. I had no idea. I'm thinking, I'm one of two rookies down there. We're sitting around having a good time. I'm, looking around and just taking everything in. The waitress came up and she tapped me on the shoulder. She said, "Hey, you forgot to put your room number in here." And I just said, "You can put it on there." And I said, "It is such." And right when I said it, I think it was Ray Lewis or somebody who kicked me under the table. They kicked me and said, "No, don't do that." But it was already, people had already heard it. So I don't know. I think there were offensive linemen sitting over there that were big guys. So there's no way that somebody could drink $3,000 in Mai Tais. There's no way.
Yeah, Sean Payton once to Tony Romo, when Tony made his first Pro Bowl, said to him that his son, Sean Payton's son, had drawn some drawings of Tony Romo, drew some pictures of Tony Romo, some drawings. And, hey, I wanted to bring it, he wants to bring it to your room to give it to you. What's your room number? Got that room number from Tony Romo and then broke the practice huddle by saying Romo's room number on 3. And it was on and cracking after that. That's another story I heard once upon a time.
Absolutely.
No joke. So Ray Lewis kicked you under the table. Like, don't do it. But
the cat was out the bag. It was done. It was already said it. And right after he kicked me, I realized what I just did, but it was too late. The damage was done.
Thousands of dollars later. But hey, at least now you could get to own Lights Out Extreme Fighting. So tell everybody what's going on with it and what you want them to know and how they can follow this sport through you. Sure.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're in LA, October 30th at the Burbank Marriott, Lights Out Extreme Fight LXF 6, get your ticket at lightsoutxf.com. And then also, if you're not there, watch us on Fubo Sports. It's going to be live. Got 3 title shots. coming up, and we're probably going to be sold out weeks before, so get your tickets.
I love it. Everybody, FuboSportsNetwork.com, Saturday, October 30th. Lights Out Extreme Fighting with Shawne Merriman basically running the show. You're the best, Shawne. You take care of yourself. Let's do this again soon.
All right. Thanks, Rich. Appreciate it.
That's Shawne Merriman right here on the Rich Eisen Show here on a Friday. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.